Thank all of you who participated in the ministry this morning. Those were wonderful, wonderful reads that you chose to bring for us this morning. Absolutely. I was intending when I first got word about the gathering that Minister Martin was putting together, I initially thought that I would be able to do it. I didn't know exactly when it would happen, but as it turned out, when it was scheduled for the time it was, I wasn't able to be with you physically, but I want you to know that I was absolutely with you in spirit. I have always loved novels. One of the best things about grade school to me was in English class or in history class, when we were given an assignment to read a novel by one of the great master novelists who we have been blessed with so many works that are so inspiring. There's one novel that I believe I was introduced to in the fifth grade, and pieces of it and the theme of it have stayed with me all these many years. Um, so begins the read. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. It was a season of light. It was a season of darkness. Everything lay before us. Nothing lay before us. In short, it was a period very like the present. I will repeat this twice more. This is from A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens. When I first saw the title, I thought that it was speaking of two specific different cities, perhaps one being Minneapolis and the other St. Paul. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. It was the season of light. It was the season of darkness. Everything lay before us. Nothing lay before us. In short, it was a period very like the present. This popped into my brain when I woke up the day after the election, after going to bed, dancing in the spirit, so confident, so assured that my candidate would win, and that finally, we will have put a woman in charge. When I woke up and grabbed my phone, my sister-in-law, who lives with me, had responded to my putting out the song, Put a Woman in Charge, with, "Not this time, Baba, not this time." And immediately I knew that I needed to go directly and immediately into meditation. And when I closed my eyes and began to breathe into my heart, I heard these opening lines from A Tale of Two Cities. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. It was a season of light. It was a season of darkness. Everything lay before us. Nothing lay before us. In short, it was a period very like the present. In the reading of A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens, I discovered that he was not speaking of two different cities. not like St. Paul and Minneapolis, which are called twin cities in Minnesota. They're close, divided by a highway, but they are not the same cities. They're governed by different politics and politicians. They have their own laws and their own codes. They come up with their own resolutions about how the city will move forward. But I realized from the reading of A Tale of Two Cities that Mr. Dickens was talking about two states of mind. And I was most grateful that the opening of this novel came to me in that moment to give me an understanding of which experience I would choose to be my experience, to give me some direction and how I would choose to view what is, how I would interpret this present moment. I would get to decide whether it is a time that is good or scary, a time of opportunity or a time of danger. I would get to choose for myself. Is this moment a moment in the worst of times or the best of times? Will I interpret this what is as a season of light or darkness? Will I come to believe that nothing lays before me? Or would I be open to the notion that everything lays before me? I immediately thought of that coin, that Chinese coin, where the symbol does not change from side to side, but the interpretation changes from side to side. One interpretation being danger, the other opportunity. There's one thing I've come to know about danger. A sign or a symbol of danger sponsors fear. And fear gives rise to immobility and incapacitation. But what of opportunity? Opportunity for me sponsors excitement and passion. And it gives me a sense of enlivening. The moment I heard the news, not this time, Baba. No woman in charge this time. I knew that I must get to work. And as Brother Raleigh shared in his reading, and it was touched upon in the others, I knew that my work was inner work. It was the governing of my mind. Because I am a preacher who has preached many years what did not come from me, but came to me and through me, for me to live and for me to extend. I've heard out of my own mouth what the Spirit spoke to and through me. Carlos, who is elected to be the governor of your state, has some import, but little comparatively. To you who stand as governor of your inner state. And whereas the governor of the state of Massachusetts or the other states that I've lived in throughout the course of my life When they get elected for a limited term. But you, brother, you have been elected governor of your inner state, and you are serving a lifetime term. How are you governing your inner state of experience and beingness? And then the voice that spoke to me and through me said, and as for the presidency, those who are elected into that office of president of what has been called the United States of America are elected for a limited term. And there are many times where the so-called United States of America appear to be the divided states of America. And you focus on this. And your desire is that those in charge would do something about it, that they would bring harmony and equity and equality, that they would be a blessing, that they would be embracing of the diverse numbers of people here in this country. And you mind their business quite a bit. However, Carlos, you have been elected by the Creator as president of your own inner state of mind. Is yours a united state of mind or a divided state of mind? You are living a tale of two cities, and you are authoring what will be for you. Right away, I know. Right away, I knew. Right away, may I always know that I am the governor of my life and that I preside as president of my inner state of being. And that it is I who must harmonize my own thoughts, my own beliefs, my own outtakes. I received many interruptions during my sleep where I suddenly awaken and the voice of spirit is speaking to me, and I keep a pen and I keep a stack of index cards right on the desk next to my bed, and I'm roused from sleep, and I grabbed a pen and I began to take dictation, writing down everything that the message is speaking to me in that moment. And in the weeks leading up to the election, my sleep was disturbed a number of times, and I would automatic write what was being spoken to me. And I didn't get around to reading any of them until the Sunday last. I was being schooled. One of the cards spoke these words. I will just use he and not speak a name. He thinks he's better than you by a long shot. And nothing and no one has been able to change his mind about that. And then it followed with, and you, my dear, let me go back because there was an important preface. He is suffering. He is suffering under the mistaken misconception that he is better than you by a long shot. And nothing and no one will be able to change his mind about that. And you, my dear, are suffering. You are suffering under the erroneous misconception that you are better than him by a long shot. And not even the tongues of 1,000 angels could convince you that you are mistaken. Look at yourself, look at yourself, look at yourself. Another card read, what do you extend to this one? What do you extend to him? Quietness, peace of mind, gentleness. What do you wish for him? Quietness, peace of mind, gentleness. No wishes or prayers or wants for him short of these will be able to bring any positive change in your mind or in his. For only blessings and extensions of love and light can call a brother or a sister out of darkness and into the marvelous light. Another card included such words and thoughts as these. What has your faith and your walk in your faith done for you? Has your faith and your walk in your faith freed you from your willingness to attack others? Has it freed you from your capacity to quiver like a reed shaking in the wind in response to what is going on in the surround? Has your walk in faith left you a reed shaking in the wind and not promoted you into a consciousness that stands like a tree planted by the living waters that cannot be moved, even in the face of the most outrageous pictures of shadow in the world? If your faith and your walk in faith has not transformed you from a reed shaking in the wind to a tree planted by the water, what then has it done? Another card read such words as these. Who is your God that you remain walking through the world with your pocket filled with stones? Who is your God that your God has not emptied your pockets of your stones and turned your weapons into plowshares and given you rest under a fig tree? Who is your God that you can call his name and sing songs of praise to him and read scriptures and yet not be changed from fear to faith? Who is your God? that you still refuse to include your chosen ones, that you still refuse to extend love to each and every one without exception. Who is your God that you attack, that you retaliate, and that you sing praises on Christmases, joy to the world, peace on earth and goodwill? Yet you do not wish joy on the entirety of the world. You withhold peace from some, and you will less than good for a chosen handful. Who is your God that you have not been delivered from such foolishness? And another card spoke words such as these. How is it that you can have faith in your God to bring peace on earth and goodwill equally shared with all her citizens when you have no peace of mind and are lacking peace in the deep moments of your times of quiet? The voice that speaks to me is relentless. It has been for most of the days of my life. I have stacks and boxes filled with index cards from times when my sleep was disturbed by the voice that I know is designed to call me out of darkness and into the light, the voice that has an intention to urge me towards self-examination, the voice that reminds me that one of the greatest pitfalls for those of us who seek to live a spiritual life, those of us who pray for and work for equity, social justice, and love shared between everyone, one of the biggest pitfalls that we can fall into is what I like to refer to as self-righteous indignation. It's an attitude of holier than thou-ness. Right after the election, my phone blew off the hook. Countless texts coming in, emails, phone messages from my brothers and sisters who could not bear the weight of the stones they carried in their pockets and were now throwing them not at members of another party, but members of our own party. Can you believe how many people of color did not vote at all and cost us the election? Can you believe how many people of color voted for someone who they should be able to see does not have our best interest in his own mind? Can you believe that so many people who are Puerto Ricans voted for the guy who has done nothing but put down the island and its people? Let me throw some rocks. Let me stone some folks. Let there be peace on earth. Let it begin with me. Let me allow everyone to have their experience while I'm having mine. I got in early enough on this Zoom to be able to hear my brother Raleigh reminding me of what we need to be reminded of, which is feel your feelings and they will pass through you. Stop them and they will bring dis-ease of mind that could very much have an opportunity to turn into manifest physical or emotional or mental dis-ease. Feel your feelings, be authentic, and let them pass through so that you can be free. Danger. If I see danger on that symbol, I can know that danger sponsors fear, and that fear is incapacitating. But if I see opportunity, that can sponsor some passion in me to do more work on me, to allow me to become a better president of the United States of my own mind, and a better governor of the state of my choices, my thoughts, my intentions, my responses. The Kennedy boys made very popular and world known a statement that, in my memory, neither of them coined the phrase, but one of them brought it forth, and it's pretty much attached to the Kennedys now. Some see things as they are and wail, why? While some see things as they could be and shout, why not? We are living a tale of two cities. And not only for some individually, but for many of us in a moment to moment to moment to moment, day to day experience of living life on planet Earth. We get to decide, what is it for me? It is the best of times. It is the worst of times. It is the season of light. It is the season of darkness. Nothing lay before us. Everything lay before us. In short, it was a period much like the present. I want you to know that I am interpreting the symbol as opportunity. And having done so, it has sponsored passion and excitement for me. And it has quickened the very cells of my body. And I am absolutely prepared to be more and to do more on two levels of my beingness. I will work in the outer realm, in the surround, in the frame, to do what I must do. But my principal work must be on my own mind, my own state of consciousness, to come to a place where I truly believe at deeper and deeper and deeper levels that God is absolute good everywhere present, where I come to believe and to know at deeper and deeper levels that my essence, the spark of divinity, is of God, and therefore I am inherently good, that I will come to know at deeper and deeper levels of belief and consciousness that I create my experiences by the activity of my thinking, and that everything in the manifest realm of my experience has its beginning in my thought, that I will come to know and to practice the beautiful art of making contact with God mind, knowing that prayer is creative thinking that heightens the connection with God mind and therefore brings forth wisdom, health, prosperity, and everything good, that I will come to know and to operate and to demonstrate at deeper and deeper levels, that knowing and understanding the laws of truth, also the laws of truth are just the beginning. But goody gumdrops, I get to live the truth I know. My mom has been off the planet and in spirit for a long time now. And that girl won't leave me alone. And she is so excited. Carly, we've got more work to do on ourselves and in the world. Aren't you excited? Yeah, Mama, I'm excited. Yay, God. Got us in heaven. And heaven is in you. And holy is your name. God wants you to know you have nothing to fear and that there is nothing and no one to blame. You've been informed. Your captivity is over. You've been informed. In truth, you're free. And so it is. Freedom. Freedom. Freedom is a state of mind. The truth. Amen.